Imagine waking up one day to find that your smartphone, electric car, or even the household appliances have become either scarce or outrageously expensive. Sounds like a doomsday scenario, right? Because it isn't some far off prediction. It's happening right now. China's world manufacturing titan is tightening its grip on exports to the US, setting off chain reaction that could reshape global commerce. So, what does this mean for American consumers, automakers, and tech giants? Let's dive into the seven biggest ways this trade turmoil is shifting the gears on the number seven, the rare earth crisis. China's grip on US tech and defense. China controls nearly 90% of the world's refined rare earth minerals, essential for EV batteries, smartphones, and military defense systems. This dominance gives Beijing enormous leverage, and recent export restrictions are tightening the noose on US industries. In December 2023, China banned rare earth magnet technology exports, which are critical for EV motors and wind turbines. In February 2025, it expanded restrictions on five key metals, threatening tech giants like Apple, Tesla, while also delaying military production. Building a domestic rare earth supply in the US could take over a decade and cost upward to $1 trillion, making a quick fix impossible. Australia's Lynx is working on to provide alternative source by shifting away from China's dominance. Won't happen overnight. Can US adapt fast enough, or will it remain at China's mercy? Number six, semiconductors squeeze America's Achilles heel. Semiconductors power everything from smartphones to military systems, yet the US produces only 12% of the world's supply, while China dominates over 50% of global chip market. Despite the 52 billion chips act aimed at boosting domestic production, America still lags behind China's recent export bans. Critical elements in the electronics and auto industries have rattled supply chains, with Japan and other nations warning of severe disruptions. Bringing chip manufacturing back to the US is a massive undertaking, requiring at least 15 years of unprecedented investment. According to McKinsey and Company, meanwhile, China is racing ahead, pumping funds into third generation semiconductors and foregoing new global partnerships. With chips now so crucial as oil, the real question is, can the US catch up, or will China cement its dominance in the tech race? Number five, consumer crisis, soaring prices of everyday goods. Step into the US home and you'll see made in China on everything from electronics to furniture. With over 70% of US electronic imported from China, trade tensions are already driving up costs. According to the Wall Street Journal, electronic prices have jumped 15% due to the tariffs and supply chains issue. If China tightens export further, the average American family could face up to $22,000 in extra annual costs, warns the Peterson Institute for International Economics. It's not just electronics. Fast fashion giants like Shein and Temu have dominated the market, pushing legacy US brands to the brink. With prices climbing across the industries, will consumers absorb the hit, or will the economic shift force policymakers to rethink trade strategies? The answer could transform retail landscape and US-China relationships for the years to come. Number four, China's BRICS power play, shifting global trade. US-China tension rise. Beijing is forging stronger trade reliance, particularly with the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa. In 2023, China's trade with the BRICS surged 30%, signaling a strategic pivot away from Western economies. China is also expanding its influence through the Belt and the Road Initiative, investing in global infrastructure projects to strengthen its economic reach. Meanwhile, India and Russia are now trading in local currencies, bypassing the US dollar. While nations explore the regional payment system to reduce reliance on Western financial structure, China's leading this shift, the US face a major challenge. How can it maintain its grip on global commerce when its economic levels holds less power? Will America adapt or will China's new alliance permanently alter the balance of global trade? Number three, the US dollar decline. A shifting global, the US dollar global dominance is slipping. In 1999, it held 71% of the global reserve, but by 2023, the number had dropped to 58%. If this trend continues, the dollar share could fall below 50% by 2034. Nations are actively seeking alternatives to reduce their reliance on the dollar. The BRICS bloc is working on new reserve currency, while India and Russia now trade in local currencies, completely bypassing the US dollar. If the dollar weakens further, the US could face inflation, financial instability, and reduced leverage in global politics. Iswa Prasad warns that the declining dollar weakens economic sanctions, a key the US foreign policy tool. With multiple currencies gaining ground, the world is shifting toward a multipolar financial system. Can the US adapt, or is era of the dollar supreme coming to an end? Number two, the US-China trade paradox. Too big to fail. Despite raising trade tension, the US and China remain economically intertwined. In early 2025, President Donald Trump imposed a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports, citing concerns over fentanyl production. China retaliated with tariffs on US goods, escalating the conflict. Yes, despite these restrictions, the US agriculture exports to China surged 25% in 2023, proving China will still relies on American resources. This paradox mirrors in 1980s tariff on Japan, which ultimately strengthened Japanese industries like Toyota and Honda, making them global powerhouses. If US continues aggressive trade policies, it could push China towards self-sufficiency, reducing its dependence on American goods and supply chains. Could history repeat itself with the US unknowingly fueling China's economic rise? Or both nations recognize that the economic cooperation remains essential? Number one, China's technological AI quantum supremacy. The US China tech race is heating up, with China making huge gains in areas once dominated by the US, particularly artificial intelligence and quantum computing. President Xi Jinping has relied technical giants like Huawei, Tencent, and Alibaba to drive advancement in AI G6. The military technology includes hypersonic weapons, shifting the global power balance. In response, the US has imposed tariffs restricting Chinese access to advanced technologies. However, these measures may backfire, accelerating Chinese push for self-sufficiency and innovation. According to Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, these tactics could ultimately give China a competitive edge, potentially surpassing the US critical tech field. China leading the charge in AI quantum computing, the next generation technology, the questions remain. Can the US maintain its dominance, or will China become the world's next tech superpower?